Before you begin pre-trip in-cab, you need to chalk your tire wheels. It's a good idea to chalk it whether you're in an automatic or a manual. When entering and exiting this vehicle, you need to also remember to have 3 points of contact at all times. Remember, when exiting this vehicle, you always exit ass backwards. Now, let's begin pre-trip in-cab. Okay, now we're ready to begin the in-cab portion of our pre-trip. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll my window down so I can hear audible noises from outside. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my seatbelt on. And as I'm putting my seatbelt on, I'm gonna make sure it's not cracked, damaged, or loose. And it works properly. Then I'm gonna ask the examiner to put their seatbelt on. Once they've done that, I'm going to inspect all of my safety equipment before I start the truck. Down on the floor, I have my fire extinguisher. Make sure it's at least BC rated and it's fully charged. I have my 3 triangles. I have a first aid kit back here. In the glove box, I have spare fuses, and underneath, I have my fuse panel. Now your truck may have circuit breakers. You would know this by your pre-trip inspection on it under the engine hood. Next, I will inspect my front window and my mirrors to make sure they're not cracked, damaged, or loose. The mirrors are properly adjusted and everything is clean. Then I'm going to be my truck and I will be checking my gauges next. Now, before I do this, with the order that I do this in, doesn't particularly have to be the order that you do it. However, you need to make sure you do all of your gauges and your safety equipment before you begin the air brakes test. Once you begin the air brakes test must be done perfectly and in order. Now, I will start my truck. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is over here on my left, I have my gauges. Now, every truck is different, so know where your gauges are. First gauge I'm going to check is my oil gauge. In this truck, my oil temperature gauge needs to be between 40-45 psi. Some trucks vary in pressure, so you need to know your truck. Safest operation level, though, for the oil is 45 psi. Next, I will move down to my water temperature. Water temperature safe operating range is between 180 and 210. Next, I will move to my voltmeter. Safe operating range, it must be between 12 and 15 volts. Then I will move over to my air tank. My primary and my secondary air tanks must read between 120 and 140 psi. Then, I'm going to check my left turn signal, my right turn signal, my high beams, and my 4-way flashers. I'm gonna turn my lights on to make sure my panel lights came on. Next, I'm gonna check my windshield wipers on low. I'm gonna check them on high. Now, I'm gonna spray my fluid, and my windshield wiper blades are wiping away the fluid. So that means my windshield wiper blades have good tension on them. Next, I'm gonna check my heater and my defroster. I will stick my hands up top to make sure the defroster's working, and down below to make sure the heater's working. Then I'm gonna check my city horn, and then I'm gonna check my air horn.